Oh my gosh. This day is so crazy. I have this beef that I made.
I thought that was weed. I thought you stopped at the weed store.
No, I didn't stop at the weed store. I was in a panic to get over here because I was very late for an interview with the Princess of Buenos Aires herself. We are joined by Miss Barbie. How are you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here.
So, listen.
Walking into the lion's den.
Welcome to the lion's den. We're going to have some hard-hitting questions today.
Hold on.
I'm more nervous to talk to you guys than I was to Andy Cohen.
We are the nice ones, but our listeners, which we call the barnacles, they are inappropriate, intrusive, and quite possibly insulting. So take that as you will.
And we start.
I heard they were pretty pissed that you guys were having me today.
No. Who said that? Us on the last episode? I was thinking
heard it
about.
on your podcast.
Yeah, I was thinking about cutting that out, but doesn't matter. Listen, we ask every guest the same question: who makes the best pikza in Buenos Aires?
Oh wow. It's oh my gosh.
I know.
Kill me for not knowing this off the top of my head.
It's tough
by
question.
the monument.
It's a tough question. And it's
gonna come to me.
I'm sorry that
you'll apologize for that.
I'm sorry that we started off with such a lull, but pizza is very, very near and dear to Argentinians.
Is that right?
Yes.
It is.
Very, very dear.
People usually think it's a steak and the wine, which is also true.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, the pizza.
Pizza is very important. They put odd things on top, like peppers and ham. And ice cream is also very important to the Argentine people, along with a very cumbersome concoction of tea. The people walk around with these fucking mate setups that are just the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. But enough about how lovely your home country is. Let's start getting aggressive with one another.
No, we don't need to get aggressive.
I'm so excited.
All right, Dave Hart wants to know, how'd you get on the show?
How'd I get on the show? I applied. Actually, originally I applied for, it doesn't matter, but yeah, I applied.
Well, Mallory Resendez asked, how'd you get into the industry and how long have you been in there?
I started 6 years ago. I was dating this guy and his friend owned a yacht company and his stew canceled on him last minute. And I was literally like his last resort. And then I turned out to be really good at it.
You know, Barbie, I mentioned this on the podcast.
I'm working on the humility still, guys.
Okay. Well, so you led with basically, I'm a brat based on Three Nannies. And that is counter to your work ethic and what we've seen on the show as far as how, you mix it up with Fraser. We'll get to that a little bit later. But your work ethic is superb. Why mention
it's like,
the purses? Yeah. I'm not telling you how to present yourself on a show, but it's just no one would ever think that of you had you not mentioned it.
No, for sure. The nannies thing that I said was ridiculous. I don't know why I led with them. I don't know if it was the situation with everything that was going on. Maybe I bought into like a little movie of myself. I don't know. I totally regret saying that. By the way, most of my friends that watch the show are like, you had three nannies. Like, I don't lead with this. This isn't how I, but like when I watch it back, of course, it's terrible. Listen, I'm going to bring my own sheets anywhere I go. Yeah. That's just who I am. Okay.
Well, first, let's do this. I know that you never ask a woman your age, but you're clearly a very young woman, so it's okay. So how old are you, Barbie?
I'm 29.
29. Okay. So, I think what with being on television, listen, as triggered as you can make some people, what with the comments about affluence and whatnot, you're a very entertaining character on the show. So haters are going to hate. Obviously, haters are going to hate. But when we first were introduced to you, I was like, what have we got? What have we got here? But you're growing throughout the season. It's your first time on reality television. And, regardless of the response, you've at least given the audience something, and it's not sad like Jared.
What I've found, and we'll get into him later, what I've found is that the audience, because we've been recapping the show forever, is you can engage in some pretty bad behavior, but if your work ethic is there, they're kind of forgiving. I don't know if you've noticed that.
For sure, but I don't think that was that bad. Like, I mean, I think that was pretty bad, but like, I watched the show for years, guys. And
no,
like
we were talking of seasons of yore. People have done absolutely horrific things, but they've been really good.
I'm not that freaking bad. Like, listen, I'm pretty bad, but it's not that terrible. I think my work ethic balances out this whole daddy's girl thing. Like, I get that what was coming out of my mouth and how I present myself is like, what the fuck? But I really back it up with my work, which is, it's kind of like, I don't know. I put my foot in my mouth. Really.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I don't really think that you, outside of like the first 2 episodes, which were just like kind of throwaway comments, it's a fun kind of archetype. It's a fun character. I don't think that it's seditious or anything like that.
And this is, we'll play good cop, bad cop. Barbie, you didn't know Kat's full backstory. So when you're seeing Fraser defend her, despite her either laziness, incompetence, or poor work ethic, and him kind of like, I don't know, he kind of take care of her, baby her, while you were doing your job, and then you pipe up about it because were you confused? Was that why?
I mean, no, but also, guys, there's a job to be done. You know what I mean? Like, at the same time, I'm not going to sit around and be like, hey, what happened to you when you were 10? As much as I empathize with everybody, there is a job that has to be done. And so like, I really wasn't, and we weren't so close, but at the end of the day, she didn't leave because of me.
No.
So it wasn't me. It was the pressure. But since my personality came in right away, she blamed her problems, her anxiety, and the whole thing that she couldn't deal with this whole boat on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also I had like whatever also, but like, it wasn't like I was calling her out of her name or like,
yeah,
I don't know. I just felt like it was like I was this bad guy off the rip that I understand you, but like at the same time, it was like her own personal problems projected on me.
And I am certainly not blaming you for Kat's leaving the boat.
No, it was the horrors of Yorba Linda. That's why Kat left the boat.
Exactly.
I mean, she
was raised by people that worship Satan.
Right.
But one could argue Vampira was the one that kind of finally finally cracked the foundation. That's because Vampire was calling her out.
And her name's Zandy.
Oh yeah, Zandy.
Yeah, I know Vampire, but like nobody would say anything about Vampire saying anything. If I would have said those same things to Kat, then automatically like here I am being a bitch again, right? Yeah. So it's just very like.
Listen, you're growing into the season. I think everybody's going to warm up to you, and unless you like do something like really bad and get fired for it or something, which is this is what Bravo does sometimes. We'll see. But Bravo gives us the cast a couple weeks before they do something absolutely atrocious on the show. So here's to hoping.
Occasionally that's how they schedule it.
Here's to hoping I make it to the end.
Yeah, here's to hoping you make it to the end. So can I ask about your powerful notebook-esque romance with Jared?
Oh my gosh.
Jared,
like I liked him. Yeah. He was like cool. Like when I first started talking to him, I really thought like he was like just like, oh, my dog just spilled my tequila everywhere. Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry about that. So when I first started talking to Jared, I thought like he really wanted to be close to his daughter. But like, I don't know, kind of been a long time.
Well, you know so that turned you off.
No, that turned me on at first because I was like, oh, he really wants to be a good dad, you know?
Right.
But then when reality set in.
Okay.
I don't know. We're like, this is a year ago. Anyway.
Actually, I've messaged back and forth with Jared.
Yeah, we've had great communicate with Jared. Pat had to reach out and say, listen, we've gone a little tough on you. And Jared said, listen, it's no problem. When you said in the first episode, I had Gary Busey teeth, which evidently I didn't say that. No. Gary Busey is not in my in my firmament. I
Me
can't
neither.
pull Gary Busey.
I never would have said
that was
that
100%.
He probably was listening to the wrong podcast.
So, anyways, are you guys still in love?
I like him. He's my friend. I've watched many of the shows with him together, and we're good friends. But the cheesy pickup lines just was an automatic, friend zone.
Right. Okay.
But I mean, he's a great guy, and he was just going through a lot at that moment.
Yes.
Kind of like Kat. I mean, both of them. I have no idea why either of them were there.
Right. No, you have to have a certain kind of mental fortitude if you're going to be on that boat.
Well, the stress.
And if I would have came with I guess not such a hard personality, would have Fraser been softer on me? Do you know what I mean? Because I came in whatever.
Right. Well, should we get into Barbie and Fraser?
Well, I want to move to a couple barnacle questions because I like to do a little foreplay till we,
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Jen McElroy asks, are you still married?
No. Right now? No.
Yeah.
No, when I was on the show, yes.
You were. Okay.
Good for you. Those things can hang on like a bunion. You gotta get rid of those things.
Second question, what bartending school taught you to put OJ in a Mars?
Oh, Barbie. This, out of all of the
you guys,
things,
is it really that serious?
Yes, it is very serious. It's very serious.
Is it that deep?
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
It is not.
Forget you talking about the Louis bags and your dad and all this stuff. Barbie,
it's not like I popped a pill.
Barbie, you're out of your mind if you think that what you did to that margarita was a margarita. I mean, you're just absolutely out of your mind.
Well, Dylan, look, that book that she carries around, that's been
diary.
It's generational. It's been handed down for thousands of years before they had orange liqueur. Okay?
Yeah, no, it looked like it came from the Prohibition era, and Barbie was like, "Hey."
That was one of my most embarrassing moments, guys.
Actually, to be fair, I do put orange juice in margarita, and I consulted with a bartender friend at my local watering hole, and they said, yes, if you are out of orange liqueur, you can substitute it for OJ.
Well, all three of you are wrong then. What's the next question?
Okay, let's see. Where should we go? All right, let's get to Kat. All right, was Kat harder to be around because she was awkward and didn't fit in, or was it because she wasn't a good worker? With that, was she bad at her job, or did she lack work ethic?
That was a very sloppy question, and we love our fans, and we appreciate our fans, but that was a sloppy question.
I think she was also in a difficult position. I think she was with Zandy, so she was doing housekeeping, and then she would come to me, and I work really, really fast. And so every time I would see her, I would just be like, hey, this, and this. And then probably when she saw Zandy, it was the same thing. She probably just felt overwhelmed. And also she just is not she doesn't go like that. She doesn't move like that.
She's chill.
She's so chill. She's high all day. She's not, you know what I mean? But that's the energy. It's whatever, we're chilling.
Yeah.
Well, Dave Hart said he wants to pitch you a sitcom idea. He'd love to see a sitcom where you live with Kat and you help her navigate life.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Do you want to green light that?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Absolutely
no,
not.
it's so funny to think
learning to navigate herself.
Chill people.
Listen, I'm not somebody that can teach anybody to navigate anything. I'm a disaster in myself. I have good work ethic, but I lose my mind.
Hey,
so
me too, sister. Me too. Listen, the chill people, when they go on Below Deck, it's a fucking meat grinder. Mm-hmm. You cannot be laissez-faire about stuff when you're on the boat. I mean, Vampira's pretty chill, but she gets through her tasks. It's just not a chill environment.
Well, you can, if you're a decky and you're quiet and keep to yourself, you're horrible television, but you can usually make it through the experience. Think of the weird one. Remember the weirdo? The weird one?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple more questions here. Okay. So this is a question I have. This is from Louis Benedictus. Would you and Kyle have hooked up or kissed if Jared wasn't barging in every 2 minutes?
Oh, great question from you and Louis Benedictus.
No. We were having movie night. No, I don't move so quick, guys.
Okay, that is a tease. They will fall in love later in the season unless Barbie tries to blow up the boat in 3 weeks, which is what I think is going to happen.
How much tequila will I drink?
All right, Barbie, I want to give you and I believe it was Kyle some credit for getting called up into the bridge and watching you actually basically say what exactly transpired during that cabin interruption.
Yeah.
And you didn't feel like you needed to throw a little exaggeration on there.
It was
see that
great,
a lot.
great narking. Great narking.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate that, especially when it's a woman with a guy being like, "Oh, I'm scared." Like, I don't like that. Like, if it's actually scary, then it's scary, but don't go up there and over dramatize and make somebody look bad.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, we're on St. David. So what you're saying is going to affect somebody in the long term. So
did you get the vibe that Carrie was trying to go that route to try to get him fired when you were talking to him?
No, I got the route that Carrie was trying to spare him from the whole situation.
Oh, wow.
I thought like Carrie was like, you know what? Like, let me just get you out of here.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, let's see here. Okay. So, why does Liza Meredinger ask, why does she think Fraser was so hard on her and impatient and so worried and loving about Kat? Do you still think Fraser was hard on you watching it back?
Yeah, but I had a terrible attitude. You know, like if I didn't have the attitude I would have been second stew and he would have been all cheery going. The thing also with Fraser is like he cannot take criticism. And I know he's a friend of the show, also, by the way, friend of mine. But you know, if anything that you say with him is like, what? You can't back talk. I don't know if it's a yachty thing.
Yeah.
I hate a hierarchy and I hate that if it's a yachty thing.
Yeah.
But like, I think my attitude was very strong, so he didn't feel like he had to cuddle me. And then her, obviously, she was crying every single day.
Right.
But why didn't he just fire her? You guys, if I would have been in my room texting, eating, crying, I would have been fired. Like, every single thing I did, I was like, one time I was like, hey, like, I don't really know how to do the forks. Like, how do I do them? And he's like, fired. You know, like everything for me was fired. But then here she is not working, doing all this stuff.
Right.
I could see where that could definitely confuse you.
And I know what you're talking about, you know, in reference to Dear Frase. You know, me and Dear Frase had a bit of a, you know, it was contentious in the beginning, you know, and you know, you do have to kind of warm up to one another a little bit.
Here's what I'll say. I understand where you're coming from because, you know, we watched it, we saw it. And then I kind of understand where he's coming from. The season that he had prior, I think he let people walk all over him. So I think he probably came into this season thinking, I'm just going to stop it right before it starts so it doesn't get bad. And then probably went a little too hard.
What with Millie Alyssa?
But I'm not Alyssa. You know what I mean? I'm not yelling at the top of my. I'm not doing all those things.
You're not drinking mimosas at 2 p.m. on a shift.
Oh my gosh, massive
I'm
goblets
cleaning.
of
I'm the one
wine.
that's cleaning the bar on crew night out.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. Like, let's have a little bit of measurement of like, okay, how bad really am I?
So how are you and Fraser? Well, I guess we'll see how you and Fraser are. But you said you're friends, right?
Now we're friends. Yeah, he can't. I don't know. I saw this, like, I'm a little mad at him right now, but yeah, we're friends.
Why are you mad at him?
Well, you know, this world comes really difficult because now, you know, I'm doing interviews, he's doing interviews, and, you know, we're talking about what happened a year ago. So, you know, now it's like every 2 seconds, it's kind of like,
Yep.
But like, I like him, but this world is really hard to navigate without taking things personal, which is what happens. Like when I listen to podcasts too, like anything, it's like, okay, I have to be open to the criticism because I'm a bitch on TV. And so, you know.
Yeah, no, like, you're going to get absolutely mentally slaughtered if you take everything personally. But what did he say?
For sure.
Okay, so this is a question.
It was like a hit piece, honestly.
All right, I don't want to beat up on Jared any further, but I must ask this question. How terrible was the Wi-Fi on the boat?
Oh, yes.
You guys, my phone worked perfect.
Yeah,
and by the way, you could have asked anybody
perfect.
else. Could have asked, and was that a flip phone? Stop it.
I think it was.
Okay, so, all right. Listen,
we've given it to him enough.
Given it to him enough, but like,
it just doesn't make sense though. You know? Like, I'm not trying to give it to him, but
the smoke screen of like, I'm just a frustrated Eeyore trying to do my best. It kind of almost makes it worse because it's so obviously. There's some serious work there. He doesn't have Gary Busey teeth.
And I definitely didn't say that.
Go see your daughter. And I didn't.
Gary Busey anyway. Whatever.
Gary Busey is the Keanu's partner in Point Break. Obviously, Barbie. Yeah. Obviously, that's it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
So a couple more questions, and then I got like quick fire questions. Okay. So Jed Phoenix asks, how would you rate the success of Captain Carrie's strategy to make Kat more accepted by taking her out for aqua therapy while you picked up the slack?
That must have pissed you off.
And I think this is Jed trying to get you to talk a little smack about Carrie. Watch it, Jed.
I'm never talking smack about Carrie. Carrie is my hero.
Yeah, mine too.
No, honestly, he offered me at first. he was like, "Hey, do you want to go on the water?" And then I was like, and then she was like, "Oh, I want to go," so she went on. But the offer was for me first, and honestly, she needed it. I was fine with it.
Okay.
I thought that she was going to come back like amazing, but then she came back just the same. So I'm like, why the hell did you even go?
Barbie, have you spoken with her? How's she doing? If you have.
I do. I reach out to her. She takes a couple days to reply, and she replies very shallow and friendly. But it's I don't even know what to say. I'll message her. I'm like, hey, sorry for my part. I don't know. When I left the boat, everybody was like, oh, you're gonna get so much hate. Good luck. And then now I guess they're seeing that things are a little bit different than what they thought in their head they were.
Yeah.
It's easy just to look at me and say I'm the villain, but it's hard to see the stuff that you're lacking. So
Barbie, honestly, don't worry about villain branding or anything like that. You seem like you're a very, very strong character, so you don't need any advice from us. But we, as people who watch the show, are very grateful for people like you, because what's way worse than somebody that comes on, ruffles feathers, maybe comes off a certain way, is people that just float into the background like the weird one. We don't remember these people's names.
Why are you here?
They don't make the show entertaining. So you're a character on the show. Everything will be fine.
All right. So you've been in the industry for quite a long time. Actually, let me wrap this up. Mary F. Kill. Ben, Kyle, Jared.
Yeah, we have to do Mary F. Kill, and you can refuse it. If you do refuse, we'll probably ask you to do it, and then a second refusal, we'll probably drop it. But what was the MFK again?
Mary F. Kill, Ben, Kyle, Jared.
Okay, marry Ben. Sonny's not gonna like that I said that.
Whoa, you'd marry Ben?
Kyle.
Okay, he'd be happy to hear that.
And kill Jared.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the options are terrible, guys, and I definitely would not marry any of they're all bad. I would kill the three of them.
Okay. What soccer team does your family support?
Ooh, this is actually toxic. My dad's River, and I'm Boca.
Why are you Boca? You're a wealthy princess. How could you ever be a Boca fan?
The wealthy princess thing. If I was such a princess, I would not be scrubbing people's toilets, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So it's not that like that. And then I just like to bust my dad's balls.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That sounds weird when I say it like that.
How are the? No,
I
it
just
doesn't.
like to go against him.
How are the games? Because I went to Buenos Aires, and that's the correct pronunciation. A year ago, and we went to Boca was playing somebody, and it was a scene. So have you ever been in physical peril at any of these soccer games?
No, they actually stopped letting visitors go to soccer games.
Yeah.
So it's only home teams that are allowed because there's so much war in between the players. So now it's a lot less bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
but back then it was crazy. People were dying out on the field.
Yeah, no, we had to get smuggled in as home fans, even though my father-in-law was a Boca fan, and he had to shut his mouth the entire time, or we would have gotten the shit beat out of us.
But thank God you didn't. You're alive today to interview Barbie.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so you've been in the industry long enough. I always love these stories. Do you have a worst charter guest story? Someone who is just the worst charter guest
Vile
ever.
Human being.
No, I do. I have this lady that she got really drunk and she locked herself in the bathroom for 30, 45 minutes. And I kept telling her, just unlock the door. And she wouldn't unlock it.
Yeah.
And she was having a panic attack in the bathroom. After 45 minutes, she got out and was like, you saved my life. I'm like, lady, you literally decided to lock yourself in there for 45 minutes.
That's your worst charter guest story? I thought it was going to end that she died in there.
No, yeah, that's literally my worst one. It was crazy. She was yelling in the bathroom for 45 minutes, and I'm like, just unlock it. It was insane.
I forget the guest, the one that got really drunk, and then she hit her head, and then you walked her down to a room. Where do they fare in kind of just the charter guests in general?
Great question. Where are they on a scale of 1 to 10? How shitty is that kind of guest?
She was a 1. She was a 1, or 10 being the most. Yes. I guess she was a 9. She was terrible, guys. Yeah. She was so mean and rude. I think she was the worst charter guest in my life, actually.
What was she like? Was she just, what was so mean about her? Was she just mocking all of you? Like, what?
All of us. And then just like everything is Barbara, go get a drink. And I'm like, yeah, just like everything. Just real, I actually think like she needs like an actual rehab.
Sure. Oh yeah. No, 100%.
I wonder if she watched the show and was like, oh my God, I need help.
Well, maybe, but booze bags often have a certain shield of delusion, so we're praying for you, Eileen.
Okay, a couple more questions. Ever have a boatmance?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
A boatmance. Have you had a boatmance in the 6 years that you've worked on yachts?
I have, and I've regretted every single one of them. Yeah. Worst decision I've ever made.
Yeah. Multiple times?
Multiple times, yes.
Yeah, no, it sounds so awful.
Because it creates like the worst situation. It's all hot and heavy. You're working on a boat, and then inevitably you're going to split apart to work on different boats, and your only communication is FaceTime. And of course, there's other
sea rats,
other attractive sea rats on those other boats.
Right.
So jealousy ensues, and then anger.
But
and then fighting.
Forget even getting off the boat. I mean, you probably at each other's throats while you're on the boat at some point.
Speaking of being at each other's throats, what's it like to be so in love and then a global pandemic happens and you decide that the person that you used to love, their face annoys you?
I think it happened to a lot of people. I think you really have to sit down and like hang out with somebody. It's something to work because you have a schedule, right? You work, he works, and then you get home, and then maybe you have to hang out 3-4 hours a day. But then when you're locked inside and you have to hang out all day,
that's what destroyed the marriage.
I was just like, you are so not it. And like you are it as a friend and everything, but like what? Yeah. What are we talking about, right?
No, you got to have a couple years under your belt before you go into a lockdown with somebody. You need,
Or maybe because I have a lot of friends that started in the COVID and it worked out. So maybe because like if you're meeting somebody, then it's fun and it's new, but like
it didn't work. It didn't work.
Anybody in your life now, Barbie?
I do have someone in my life right now. It's like on and off.
Is it someone in the industry?
No, hell no. The only time I date people in the industry is when I'm on a boat and I'm like really bored. Like a few weeks came by, I'm like bored enough to do it.
Right.
And then I get back on land and Well, and that's usually how boatmances go. Guys.
Yeah,
it's like you become delusional. You're out at sea. There's something in the air, in the water, in the salt.
So give a little tease for the rest of the season. Do we got more drama to come?
Yeah.
You guys, I'm so dramatic. Like, I'm embarrassed. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm embarrassed in advance.
Okay.
I'm so excited. What kind of dog do you have? Can we see the dog, or is it a small enough animal?
For sure. Yeah, let me get it for you. Come here, Kush. I have a French bulldog.
Oh, wow. Frenchie,
now,
what is up?
Are those the dogs that they can no longer give a natural birth? They have to be cesarean because their heads are so big? Yeah.
And I think it's something about their hips too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she has so many health issues.
And is she converting to Judaism too?
No, just me. That's a slow process.
Yeah, no, it's the Torah is a very complicated text. Listen,
you've been a great sport. We've just to let the audience know, we've talked a little bit, just DMs back and forth. Barbie's been a complete great sport with our little recaps of the show.
Dare I say, we love Barbie.
We love Barbie.
We love Barbie, and this is what happens every time we talk to, someone who we have unkind or untoward things to say. They're always super funny,
right?
But when we talk to them, everything gets aired out, and we always appreciate people who are good sports.
Except
about the
for Pizza
podcast.
Rat, he's still a douchebag.
Pizza Rat can genuinely go fuck himself. I cannot stand that guy. Yeah. Barbie, anything to plug?
Yeah, what do you got coming up, Barbie?
I can't say, but I have some exciting stuff coming up.
Okay. Really? Stay tuned for Barbie's continued meltdowns on the show and more exciting things.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course. Sorry I was so late. Hopefully we talk to you again soon.
Thanks a lot, Barbie.
I hope so. You're welcome. And it gets worse, guys.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, yeah. And when next time you're in LA, let us know.
Okay, I will.
All right.
Have a good day, guys.
Godspeed.
Good night, I guess.
Bye.
Bye, Barbie.
Bye.